Hey everybody, welcome back to the Income School YouTube channel. Today we're talking about blogging and how it's awesome.
Howdy everyone, Nate here. Today we're going to be talking about why YouTube is vastly superior to blogging.
Dude, this is my video. Anyway, welcome back. Today we do have a visitor. Nate, I will allow to stay on this video. This is Nate from Channel Makers, where he has an entire YouTube channel all about building and growing YouTube channels. So today we are going to be talking about why blogging is vastly superior to YouTube.
Hey.
So in order to do that, we're going to be going through the pros and cons of each. So mostly pros for blogging and cons for YouTube. Let's just dive right in.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, first one, blogging, why blogging is better. The content creation for blogging, I think, is a lot easier. You can pretty much research and write about any topic, whether you know much about it or not. You can, I don't want to say fake it because I want you to actually learn your topic, but you don't have to be such an expert that you can be well-versed talking about it on camera.
Okay, well, be that as that may, on YouTube we are actually more experts, probably because we have to, but actually one of the biggest advantages for YouTube channels is you can get faster results. None of this waiting 8 months, etc., before you start getting any sort of feedback. On YouTube, you could produce a video and have it rank within minutes. In fact, I think the fastest we've ever had it was 45 minutes. We had a video rank in search just from publish to ranking.
YouTube takes a tremendous amount of really active work. You can't just like put some videos out on a channel and then let it be for several months at a time. With blogging, yeah, we may have to wait a few months in the beginning. By a few, maybe it's more like 6 to 8. But once we've created that content, it can continue to drive traffic to our website literally for years.
Except that one of the massive advantages on YouTube is you get faster and more active feedback, meaning when you publish a video, you can see almost immediately how good that video was. So you're able to edit and change future videos much more quickly because you can see, hey, what was the click-through rate? Well, how many views did that video get? Did it succeed with the audience versus not? So the very next video, I don't have to wait. Again, I don't have to wait that much time to get that kind of feedback. So the very next video, I can be adjusting according to that feedback I'm getting.
That's fair, but when it comes to blogging content, the content, it can be extremely evergreen. We're talking about articles where I get the same, essentially the same traffic, the same number of visitors coming to my website from that piece of content every month for years and years and years. Whereas with YouTube, it seems like most videos that you put out, you publish the video, you get like this surge in traffic, and then the value of that video is mostly gone.
Okay, but at least my views won't absolutely tank because of some stupid algorithm update. Sorry. But really, how the algorithm works on YouTube is dramatically different, and I have rarely ever seen a channel just completely disappear because of some YouTube update, and that's actually a big deal.
Okay, that's fair. That's a very big deal. In order to be good on YouTube, it takes more than just like coming up with some good ideas. You have to like get good at being able to talk to a camera, which is harder than you might think that it is. So there are a ton of skills you have to master, whereas with blogging, it's like learn search analysis, get decent at writing, which honestly I think pretty much anybody can do, and you're golden.
It's not that hard. I think the big thing there is that there's a big advantage from this because viewership, you don't have to somehow like outrank everybody like on a blog. If you're not number one or in the top few results, it's really tough with your blog post. But on YouTube, viewership is entirely different. You see, even on YouTube search, people will watch your video and the next video and the next video and the top 10 videos. It's just how it works.
Okay, yeah, but with YouTube, don't you need like a whole bunch of expensive gear? Because with a blog, all you need to do is pay for a little bit of hosting, and that's like the only thing you actually need. Okay, and a domain. We're talking about a few dollars a month to get started, whereas with YouTube, like cameras, lighting.
Actually, I'm gonna put that, you actually don't need hardly anything on YouTube. Like a YouTube account, totally free. All you need is something literally to record. So your phone, and boom, you can have a YouTube channel. So I'm gonna call that a draw.
You still always hear about people needing like a big setup. Yes, you could get started for free with like just your cell phone, but you just don't really need any equipment for blogging.
Come on, Ricky, you don't need that much equipment to make YouTube videos. I have to give it to you there. There can be quite a bit more equipment and it can be extremely pricey. But again, it does come with an advantage, and that is monetization from a YouTube channel. The amount of time or the distance that it takes between someone viewing a video and them purchasing something from you can be dramatically less. Because give me a break. The advantage of being able to see someone and watching multiple videos from the same person leads to a much higher trust level.
I don't know about that, Nate.
Yeah, well, where are people watching this?
Okay, I actually will give you that one because it's totally true. But at some point, if you want to make a change in your business, or you just want to cash out, it's way easier to sell a blog.
I don't know how to react to that. But... All right, so there's obviously advantages and disadvantages to both of these, but I think the real question here is who should do each?
So I do recommend, if you're just getting started, to do one first, either a blog or a YouTube channel. There are too many skills to learn to try to do both at the same time. However, I actually do think that most people should be at least using some of the benefits of both YouTube channels and blogs.
Yeah, really, how I would be looking at this is there's really two questions that we should be answering to decide which of these and how to combine each of these options. The first one has to do with niche. Is the niche that we're considering a good fit for one or the other? I'll go first here and say that there's almost zero niches that I don't think could be successful on YouTube. Even the most boring things in the world, when approached the right way and with the right interesting spin on the content, can be successful on YouTube.
No niche really comes to mind for me right now that I think would just totally not work on YouTube. However, there are several niches that I would say for a blog, that is not the right place to start. And mostly those are those niches that are extremely competitive and have been competitive for like a decade. We're talking about things like personal finance, extremely competitive for a blogger. We're talking about medical stuff, fitness in particular is really, really tough. There are also a few big medical websites that cover like all the symptoms. And so medical sites can be tough to do. One thing that these really competitive niches typically have in common is they tend to fall heavily into the YMYL category, your money and your life. And these are topics that Google is gonna be really careful about who they promote. You're gonna need to build a lot of EAT to be able to have any chance of ranking there well on Google. However, we do see on YouTube, even breakout channels, new channels, are having the opportunity to kind of find their niche within YouTube. And again, because it's not just about competition and outranking everyone else, it doesn't matter if you cover the same topic. Now, the second question, and really the far bigger question as to who should do YouTube versus a blog, has to do with what your own preferences are.
And actually, I was thinking on this, Ricky, so I thought we could have some fun with this. You see,
Ooh,
I found
no,
this timer.
No,
I thought we could do some... So anyway, I think what we're saying here when we're talking about preferences is what aspects of content creation do you like more? And we're going to talk about preferences of each option.
Okay, so first let's talk YouTube. For people who should do YouTube, the first thing is if you've chosen a topic, a niche that you just love, you say, this is the niche I'm going to do. I don't care how competitive it is, but it is one of those ones we talked about that's super competitive for blogging. You should just start with a YouTube channel first.
The next vote I'm going to say for the YouTube preferences side of things is if you want to sell your own product or high-ticket affiliate products, YouTube, we have proven over and over again to be a better option for that because of the trust factor. The behavior on YouTube is they come, they watch one video, and then they'll watch another, and after 10 videos, they're much more likely to purchase something that you created.
And along similar lines, because people have that tendency of like watching video after video, which unfortunately, they don't like to do when they're reading blog posts. They tend to like read the one they came for and leave most of the time. But because of that, if you want to build a brand, something that people will recognize and come back to, really with the intent to sell a product, but also for really any reason you want to build that brand recognition, YouTube is going to be a better platform for that than blogging. So even if you are already a blogger, but now you want to take that brand that you've created and build it up and make it known, you're probably going to want to consider adding YouTube as well.
And finally, on the YouTube side, and this is a big one, especially for people who care about something, it's a hobby, but they don't necessarily want to just create information or answer-based content, is on YouTube, you can create very interesting or entertaining content about almost any topic. And that doesn't exclude YouTube search, but it does mean that on YouTube, because of the nature of the algorithm, you can have a variety of different content types, hobby styles, all of those things that the algorithm itself will surface for you, and it doesn't have to only perform perform well in search.
Okay, so next up, let's talk about preferences for blogging. If these are some of your preferences, you're probably gonna wanna lean toward the blogging site for getting started. And the first one is if you have picked a niche that's gonna be a good one for you, but it's something that you're not actively doing. It's hard to make videos that are very compelling when you can't actually show the thing that you're making the videos about.
The next huge advantage or preference thing here that I just have to admit here of blogging over YouTube is that if you want it to be more passive, we already mentioned this, we alluded to this earlier on, but blogging can be much more passive. You see, on YouTube, you have to actively be producing videos on an ongoing basis, and taking breaks just isn't the same.
The next preference in favor of a blog is if you want to stay anonymous. It's a lot easier to do that on a blog where even if you do want to show some personality, you can use a persona. You could use a stock photo, or you could just take a photo of yourself and like alter it using the Face app or something. I've done that once before. It's a lot of fun. But you could do that and use, factual information kind of about yourself and your personality, but without having to share your name, show pictures of yourself, any of that. On YouTube, it's a lot harder to stay totally anonymous, but also succeed.
And that leads to the next huge thing, and that is if you really do not want to make interest content, you just want to answer people's questions. You have a search, you want to create a resource for a question, you don't want to have to worry about delivery of that, or aside from some writing techniques, but beyond that, you don't have to worry about editing or any of those other things. On blogging, you have a massive advantage of just being able to focus on the information.
Another preference in favor of blogging is if you're just awkward on camera and you don't have a drive to want to get better on camera. So most of us are awkward on camera when we get started. I think most people are not naturals at it. But if you're not willing to work at it or not even interested in working at it, then probably start with a blog. And who knows, maybe it'll come in the future. If you're not great at something, don't let that be the reason that you don't do it. You should have a growth mindset. Believe that you can become a different version of yourself. You can grow, you can expand, and you can develop new skills. I'm not naturally good on camera. It took a lot of practice, and I'm still mediocre on camera, and I think that's okay. But you need to have a desire to learn and get better, and if you have that, that's gonna work fine for YouTube. If you don't have that, just stay away from it, it's okay. That's why in Project 24 we actually teach both of these things. It's because both are not only viable, but really, really good ways to be able to make money from a content business. So if you do have an interest in learning about YouTube and maybe starting your own channel, I invite you to go check out the Channel Makers YouTube channel, because Nate's got a ton of awesome content on that channel to walk you through how to create that channel and how to actually be successful with the YouTube algorithm and creating awesome videos. So if you have interest in at least considering starting a YouTube channel, you definitely need to go check out this video on Channel Makers. It's gonna walk you through step-by-step how to do this.
And also, I'm gonna recommend this video for another great blogging tip. I still think YouTube's better.
My light's bigger.